I can't believe what I just discovered. A war that Australia actually lost to birds. And not just any birds, but emus. Yes, you heard that right. This lesser-known episode of world history is called the Great Emu War of 1932. And trust me, by the end of this video, you will look at emus completely differently. So, let's dive in. The story begins just after World War I, when Australian soldiers returned home and were encouraged to take up farming in the vast empty lands of Western Australia. To entice them, the government offered loans and incentives. But what should have been a prosperous venture quickly turned into a nightmare. You see, the soldiers turned farmers faced numerous challenges: poor soil, lack of infrastructure, and as if that weren't enough, a vast invasion of emus. Hold up. What's an emu, you ask? Imagine an ostrich, but more muscular and standing up to 6 feet tall. Emus are flightless, fast, and if they had a motto, it would probably be something like, "You can't stop me." Now, these emus weren't just gracefully trotting through farmland, they were rampaging. By 1932, upwards of 20,000 hungry emus had made their way to farmers' crops. These birds saw the crops as an all-you-can-eat buffet, leaving the struggling farmers practically destitute. The farmers were desperate and pleaded with the government for help. "We need something fast and powerful to deal with these pests," they demanded. The government's response? Well, they turned to their military. It was decided that soldiers equipped with machine guns would wage war against emus. Led by Major G.P.W. Meredith, the military initiative officially began in November 1932. 2 soldiers, equipped with heavy artillery, were sent to combat the emus. Their strategy? Ambushing large groups of these birds as they moved across the plains. It sounded simple enough, but oh, how they underestimated their feathery enemies. In the first attempt, as soldiers approached a group of 50 emus, these clever birds scattered into small groups. Why does that matter? Because machine guns are most effective against tight formations. The emus made themselves difficult targets, and their spectacular speed, up to 50 kilometers per hour, rendered much of the gunfire completely useless. Record scratch moment right here. Even the soldiers admitted that the emus were highly organized, as though they were operating under some sort of tactical brilliance. Over the course of several days, the soldiers attempted again and again, even mounting machine guns onto trucks to pursue the emus. But this ended in comical disaster. The trucks couldn't keep up with the emus' unpredictable zigzagging, and the mounted guns jolted uncontrollably while firing. It was a mess. Despite thousands of bullets fired, by the end of the first week, only a few dozen emus had been taken down. In one instance, more than 2,500 rounds of ammunition were used, and yet only 300 emus were defeated. Let's do the math here. That's over 8 shots for every bird. I mean, talk about inefficiency. Eventually, the campaign was called off, and Major Meredith reportedly said, and I quote, "If we had a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it could face any army in the world." That, my friends, is perhaps the greatest compliment emus have ever received. So, what happened next? The emus continued to plague farmers for years, but the government abandoned the idea of direct combat. Instead, they offered bounties for individual emus and provided farmers with fencing subsidies. Both were far more effective solutions. But let's not miss the irony here. In a country where dingoes, spiders, and crocodiles are on the list of dangerous creatures, it was emus, big flightless birds, that staged the most infamous war in Australian history. And while it's tempting to laugh, the Great Emu War sheds light on a larger issue. At its core, it wasn't just a battle between man and bird. It was a story of human hubris versus nature. It reflected the tension between economic desperation and environmental challenges. The emus, after all, were simply doing what they'd always done: migrating and feeding. Humanity, on the other hand, tried to fight nature with brute force instead of understanding the ecosystem better. Today, the Great Emu War is both a cautionary tale and a source of dark humor. It shows us how sometimes the strangest things become part of our collective history. So next time you see a bird, remember, they might just surprise you. Do you know any other bizarre stories like this? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and follow for more fascinating history episodes.